Hi wine lovers, welcome back to Wine on a Dime. My name is Kimberly and today we're going to be talking about what to do with that open bottle. What do we do? So as we officially dive into the holidays, you're probably going to open some bottles of wine and not drink the whole bottle at once. So what do we do? What is the best practice? How long does it last? Where should I put it? I got your back. I got your back. So let's talk about white wine. Now white wine, you want to put this in the fridge after you open it. You usually serve white wine chilled. Kind of common sense there. This will last 5 to 7 days in the fridge if you put the top on. So I have a screw top here. They kind of leave things up for you. What makes the wine go bad is the air that's in there. So you want to prevent more air from getting into this bottle. So when you unscrew a white wine, you want to make sure when it's sitting out, you don't need to air it out or anything. To keep it longer between serving, put the wine screw top back on. If you have a corked white wine, you can put the cork back in if you don't have any other options there. Now this is wine that I'm using as a sample here is a Chardonnay, and it's a full-bodied white wine, and it's actually going to age faster and go bad faster. So I'm thinking 3 to 5 days on a full-bodied white that you're going to want to finish it, and again put it in the fridge. Moving on to red wines. Now this is the hardest wine to keep fresh because I often tell you to let air into the bottle, to open it up more, and then if you let too much air in, it starts to spoil. It's like a fine line with red wines. You want to store a red wine in a cool, dry place where it doesn't have access to any sunlight. Personally, I put all of my red wines in the refrigerator because they have such a short shelf life, especially if you're just recorking it here. I would definitely put it in the fridge, and then when you want to enjoy it again, take it out of the fridge, put it on your counter, and kind of let it warm to room temperature. And if you're in a super big hurry, just like run it under the sink faucet. Ain't nobody judging you. So red wines, most red wines will last between 3 and 5 days. Now if you have a light-bodied red wine or medium-bodied red wine, like a Pinot Noir, you're looking at 2 to 3 days that you're going to want to enjoy this. So I've been showing the cork method here. I'm going to show you some different methods that you can kind of prevent new air from getting into the bottle. A first thing that you may want to do is use a wine stopper. You just kind of push it down in there and it creates a seal and it looks beautiful. This particular wine stopper was given to me by a friend, and it is an amethyst wine stopper, and he makes these. They're super cool. He has like rocks and fossils and all sorts of things. They're called rock toppers. He has an Etsy store. I'll put the link down below if you're interested. They're pretty fancy. So if you're having guests over and you want to prevent more air from going into your wine, this is a great solution that while you're enjoying your wine, between each pour you could put a wine stopper in there. Also, if you're putting it in the fridge, this is a good solution. It creates an airtight seal in there, and when you want to enjoy it again, just pop it out. See how it took a little effort to get it out of there? It's because it's an airtight seal. That's nice. If you want to get super technical and you want them to preserve longer than the days that I have recommended, you can actually vacuum the air out of there, and they'll last. I've had wines last, I can get a Pinot Noir up to 5 days, and I've had other red wines last maybe up to a week, and the white wines too, using the vacuum seal. Now it's a little controversial because some people think that when you take the air out, you're taking some of the flavors with it. So basically what you do is you have this, you want to wet this just so it goes in pretty easy. Stick that in there. It has some holes in the top. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then you have your little vacuum pump and you start to dump it. Hear that clicking noise? That means that it's sealed. And then I put this in the fridge, or if you like to leave them out on the counter, I highly, highly recommend getting one of these if you leave it out on the counter, just because it's gonna spoil so fast. And then when you're ready to enjoy, hear that noise? Good to go. I bought this, I think it was $10, and it came with 3 of these. You don't have to get blue like I did. I'm just being cute. Now let's talk about sparkling wines. These are the hardest wines to preserve. And you're gonna be drinking a lot of them for the holidays. So sparkling wines usually last 1 to 3 days, depending on how you preserve it. If you don't have a proper sparkling wine stopper, you're looking at like the same day or the next day if you're lucky. So, the key to preserving sparkling wine is keeping it ice cold. So between pours, if you're sticking it in the fridge, you should be good. There's different research out there whether or not you should recork it or not. One thing that like my family has always done is we put foil. I like wrap the foil like this and kind of recreate this. It doesn't let new air in. My mom likes to make her own wine stopper like with the foil. I'm gonna do this. Okay, so here is the foil wine stopper. I have like a little thing lip in there. It's really, I don't know. It doesn't look too beautiful and fancy, but if you don't drink a lot of sparkling wine, there's really no need for you to buy a sparkling wine stopper if you're only going to be drinking it once a year. But they are pretty nice, I guess. I don't know, I just bought one for the first time and we're going to test it out and see if it works. So I bought this bottle of Cava. Well, it doesn't matter when I bought it. I opened it yesterday and I'm testing out my wine stopper, this metal contraption thing on there, and let's see how it pours, see if it's still bubbly. Ready? Woo! Woo! It definitely had some pressure on there. So how this works is it has this kind of spring-loaded thing, and then you kind of collapse it down. So I put the white part and I push down, it's like spring-loaded, and then I collapse the see how it like bounces up? Put the arms down, and yeah, it's not gonna be as cool as the first time I did it. So let's check this out and see if it's still bubbly. I bought this for $4 on Amazon. Oh, it still pours super nice and fizzy. Wow. So I drank this yesterday, probably at 2 p.m. It's 2:30, so 24 hours. It has a nice, it looks like I just poured it. Let's see if it smells. It smells pretty good. It tastes just as fresh. It's another thing, when champagne and Cava starts to go flat, it doesn't taste as yummy. This is still pretty good. So if you drink a lot of sparkling wines like me, this might be a good investment. Like, check on Amazon. It was from like Wineco, and it was less than $4. Takes some finessing. Perfect. So there you have it. Keep that wine fresh. Thanks for tuning in to this special edition of Wine on a Dime, where we talked about wine preservation after you open it. I hope you have a fantastic holiday. Still so good. Love Cava.